Hi Virgo, welcome to your end of November 2018 Tarot Update. I'm Raina. The deck I'm using for the spread is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. It's been, I think it was like a year ago when I got that deck. I don't think it was, yeah, I think it was about a year ago. And it was after Christmas, and I had a gift card for, you know, a major department store. And I don't even go to department stores anymore. I usually just order online. And so I just was looking for something to buy. I didn't want anything that they had. And I saw that. And I paid like 40 bucks for it. Which, you know, it's kind of crazy with gift cards, isn't it? When you get a gift card and you're like, there's nothing you want from the store. Like most of the things might be too much. And you don't have enough money, and you think, God, that's a ripoff. And then when you find something like I did, just that would kind of cover it, then just out of curiosity, I went online and was trying to read reviews on Amazon about this deck, and they were selling it for almost half of what I paid in the department store. So I was like, ah. So if you go on Amazon, you might only pay, I think the last time I saw it, it was like $22 or $24. And it's kind of like an oversized box. It has a big booklet compared to some of the other booklets I've had that accompany the deck. So, if that interests you. And I'm also going to be picking a card from the Universe Has Your Back deck by Gabrielle Bernstein. It's a deck that I had my eye on for a while, and I finally decided to purchase it recently. It's like kind of like affirmations, and I think the theme is what do you call it? Course in Miracles. You know, it's funny, this particular spread, it's so weird. It has like so many cards that remind me of another sign. I can't think of what it was. And I was just sitting here like shuffling while I was talking to you, and I even started over again. It's kind of unusual. So the heart of the matter is the Ace of Wands. This is one card that I haven't gotten recently, which is great. I love this. I love this drawing. You know, I love the vibrancy, and it really does capture what the Ace of Wands is about, which is a fresh new direction, just feeling a lot of enthusiasm for your new endeavors. And there's a lot of independence with these things. So, like starting your own business is a key one, because wands relate to creativity. And this is something that when you create your own business, you're doing it all. You're coming up with the name, coming up with the product, and you're doing it the way that you want to do it. And putting your like personalized stamp on it. And you may feel like you're free. I think that's another thing with the Ace of Wands that I don't want to forget, is that sense of freedom and also initiative. That's a big one. If this is a relationship, it could even be very passionate affair where it's just like you're feeling there is a sexual energy coming off of you, and also this could be a new beginning or a new relationship with a fire sign, Aries, Sag, Virgo. That's probably your weak spot, is Sag, or Leo. And let's look at the foundation card. We have the Ace of Cups. Oh, that's perfect. So this is a beginning on the emotional level. So to me, these are two great accompanying cards, because that gives you love. If you're in a relationship, it's not just a fling. It means that there is strong emotional connection. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that the ace is really the beginning stage. Okay, so the Ace of Wands could actually be an idea that you have that just sets you on fire, that really creates a sense of passion within you. You know, sometimes I think about this because it's really important to think about, and I'm going to tell you this, not to indulge myself, but to inspire some of you. When I first decided to do this, it was 2014. And it came to me very suddenly that I could be doing this. And I had no inkling before that time period. None. I used to always say, I'll never make videos on YouTube. That's crazy. Because I had my own preconceptions of what that would mean and things like that. And once the idea took hold, I had to like rein it in. So that's why I'm saying that this could be a seed. And I had to rein it in because I knew that I needed to do more preparation for it. That because, you know, sometimes you get an idea and you just think, okay, good, I want to implement it. And then you're like, okay, now what? There's like a gap between your idea and the manifestation of it in its fullest sense. So I ended up doing my own, if you want to call it research, but also just shoring up my knowledge so that I could just sit here and just talk. I had a lot of knowledge about the different signs, but it was bringing it all together, especially with the predictive part, because that has never been my interest at all. And I knew that that's what I had to do. You know, if you're going to do readings and forecasts, you have to know about predictions. But the point is that for those 9 months, and I didn't think it was going to be 9 months. I thought I could do it like in a month. And I realized it was a lot harder than it looked. And so, which is good, because it made me respect the people that I was watching all the more. And yet, in those 9 months, I was on fire. I was chomping at the bit. When you have those kinds of feelings inside of yourself that are really strong passion for something, even if you haven't done it yet, that is when you feel alive. When you don't have something in your life, when you feel like you're going through the motions, that's the opposite of living. So this is what I'm really telling you, is that if you want to do something for yourself, even if you have a day job and you just don't like what you're doing, but you know, hey, I have bills to pay, I have to keep things running smoothly, something like your own business can sustain you during the time of transition from, you know, launching it and seeing it grow and then being able to do it full time or to live off of it or whatever. So I have a feeling that something along the lines is happening for some of you Virgos. And even with relationships, you can have that attraction. With the physical attraction, I would say, is the Ace of Wands. But here we have the emotional. With the Ace of Cups, we have the emotions also kicking in. And that's wonderful. That's it, one without the other, especially if you have the Ace of Wands without the Ace of Cups. I don't think it's a sustainable thing. It'll burn itself out eventually because everything that is new becomes familiar. What is crossing you is, I love to show that, right between the eyes. 10 of Swords, this is a card of betrayal. And so, any kind of like situation recently, or maybe, I guess it doesn't have to be recently, it could be like 10 years ago. And that can hold you back from feeling fully present in this moment of change. Because when you have these two aces, you have a strong vibration of new beginnings. Now, obviously this is a general reading, and there are a lot of Virgos on this planet who are going through different things. So let's just say that in a relative way. But regardless, this can be a time where if you embrace the change and you're up for it, and you don't allow yourself to keep getting haunted by something where maybe you put your faith in someone and they let you down. If you can get past that, that's the key to truly starting anew. The higher message is the Five of Pentacles. This is a card of poverty consciousness, lack consciousness. Sometimes being too materialistic instead of spiritual. Earth signs can't help themselves in that department because they are attuned to the matters of this world. That's just what they came here to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need the earth signs in order to keep things grounded. If everything is in the realm of thought, like the air signs, in the realm of emotion, like the water signs, and with the fire signs, that kind of life force that is very passionate but not necessarily easily controlled, because fire has a tendency to kind of just, get out of control, right? And enthusiasm is great, but it can sometimes be overly indulged in, to the point where the person isn't really necessarily practical, and their dreams are hard to manage. With Earth, though, you have to also believe that there's something more. You can't just be focused on the world, or you just never dream. You're always like, oh, dreaming. My partner was telling me about one of his co-workers who had a father who said, dreams are for women and children. Son, dreams are for women and children. Oh, God, that guy was a piece of work from what I heard. So you don't want to be like that guy. I'm sure he had some nice qualities, but saying that is something that always stuck with his sons. And so the Five of Pentacles is about believing that there's more where that came from, and I'm talking about good things. So if, for instance, you do have a job situation, maybe you were betrayed on your job, maybe you were promised something that was rescinded or it just never came about, somebody else got the promotion, what have you, and you really felt that you were metaphorically stabbed in the back, or figuratively, I never know which one to use. That might have been so profound that you don't even want to work there anymore. And yet you're like, well, what about the money? And so that could be the Five of Pentacles saying the universe has your back. And I say that with caution. Obviously, I have a moon in Virgo, so I would be pretty like hard pressed to ever quit a job in a very sudden manner, unless I had somebody else that could pay my bills. That might be a different story. And some people are so cautious that even if they have that person, they still don't want to leave. So I guess it depends on the individual Virgo, but just looking at it from that perspective, and even love relationships, believing there's, more love out there for you. And it looks like you do, like there is, because there might be somebody here, and you don't want to discourage them if they are a good person. The practical advice or situation is the Judgment card, and that is sometimes, if we're talking about relationships, that, you know, I mean, this could be like that you're waiting for a divorce judgment to come in, and the Ace of Wands is saying to you, oh, wow, you know, now that maybe the other person was the one who initiated the divorce. So that made you feel betrayed. And so you're looking at it from that perspective, but really you have this exciting new journey ahead of you. If you can get yourself in that frame of mind, if you are focusing on, oh gosh, you know, they cheated on me or they just left me in the lurch, then you totally turn your back on this new phase in life, which can be full of new love. I mean, maybe it's not that you've met anybody recently, but that there's the potential now. I said potential. But there's the potential for you to meet somebody new, because you've opened up that space, or it's been opened up for you. And now it's time to be happy that you have this and not to look at it as some kind of a loss. What is coming in is represented by the Five of Wands. If you're in a divorce court situation or proceedings, you might have some conflict, and it might be between, you might be fighting both your soon-to-be ex and his or her lawyer, or other people may be putting their 2 cents in and trying to decide who's at fault in this relationship. I say for that kind of card, stay above the fray. Don't defend yourself. If people are using this opportunity when you may be feeling kind of low, this is a card of, the Ten of Swords is a card of like hitting rock bottom. And some people that are really toxic individuals, we call them flying monkeys if there's a narcissist around, they may come around and they may be acting so concerned about everything, but they're really trying to make you doubt yourself, poison the well, triangulate, whatever. Stay above the fray. Even if you are so tempted to diss your soon-to-be ex, don't go there, because that's what they want. They want little juicy nuggets to run back and tell the narcissist or your ex, or if they are one and the same. And the co-workers too. There may be something, judgment for a workplace situation. You may felt like, you know what, this isn't just getting passed over a promotion. This is like a systematic thing that's been happening where this person has been engaging in favoritism, and I'm done with it. It's not fair. I don't deserve this. And you're just kind of like putting your foot down. The outcome is the Two of Swords. This is the classic card of being at a crossroads, having to decide. Now, isn't that interesting? In this deck, they show the sun. And I would say, Virgo, take this as kind of a sign. Unless you're involved with a Leo, because I was talking about fire signs starting a new relationship. Maybe it is with a Leo, but I'm wondering, this is my own interpretation. The sun is our desires, our core identity in this lifetime, and therefore all of the things that connect with that identity. So our hopes and wishes, our basic personality traits, and our interests, all rolled into one. And that's why when you are trying to find out somebody else's astrology, the first thing you do is typically look at the sun sign, don't you? Rather than some of the other inner planets. So you may have to make a very clear decision when it comes to issues around your future with a particular career. You know, the wands can connect to career matters. And with the Ace of Wands, it can even be starting a whole new career, but having a lot of, you know, unresolved feelings that are on the negative side related to something that happened in the past. If your career that you've left a bad taste in your mouth, then that might be what is going on. So now you have to decide, you know, which direction do I go in? I'm going to pick an additional card. There are certain cards, it's not that they're bad. Sometimes it's that they're more on the negative side, and I don't like to end readings like that. But sometimes they're just kind of like in the air. So I'm going to pick an additional card and see what. I'm going to pick a couple more, because this is a card that I associate with more of the emotional. Okay. And I just wanted to say, if this is some kind of a relationship issue, somebody may be offering you, maybe saying, you know, I really care for you, and you still are upset over somebody else. Because I did get the Five of Cups when I picked an additional card. And this is one of those cards where I don't end the reading, so that's why I picked an additional card. So the Five of Cups is a card of grief. It's possible, let's say you are a widow or widower, and somebody is offering you love, but it's too early. You still are in the grief stage. You may be attracted to them, the Ace of Wands, but you are feeling very emotionally, maybe in tatters in some cases. Or, you know, and this can apply to even in the workplace. If you had gotten fired and now you have a new opportunity, maybe it's hard to shake off that feeling of being let go, especially if you had worked someplace for many years and you felt betrayed. You felt like other people got to stay and they were there shorter time. You had seniority. But grief is something that doesn't have a timetable. Obviously, some people get caught up in it and they remain too like stuck in place, but that doesn't mean that it's not real and that it doesn't need to be integrated. By the way, I was getting a little bit distracted because the Judgment card too is a card of rebirth. I just wanted to say that because that might be something that you're undergoing right now. And then I picked the Two of Cups. This is a card of reuniting with an old love. So maybe that is something that has come into the picture. Maybe even during the Venus retrograde. The Ace of Wands, it could be an old love that wanted to come back, but you were still hurting. And maybe you decide to forgive them and go back to them. Maybe you've decided that they have changed because perhaps you were a little bit unsure of that, and you didn't really think that they were sincere, and now you think, yeah, you know, I do believe that this person that they mean what they say, and I think I am going to take them up on it. Also, even like if you got fired from or laid off, I should say laid off, and it's not really the same thing from how I understand it, because sometimes people get laid off temporarily. So maybe you got laid off and that really stung, and you go back to work for that company. But I feel a strong sense of autonomy. That's what I want to leave you with, Virgo. So I think you're getting the ball rolling about maybe starting your own business, even if you have these other things swirling around. So I'm going to leave it there. Oh, lest I forget, I've already gone on 25 minutes, but I do want to pick one of these cards from this new deck, Universe Has Your Back. I think I forgot to pick one for another sign. This is the back of the card. I think that's like a sun. I choose love no matter what. Oh. And you know what? Love doesn't mean that you have to be a doormat. If somebody's being a jerk to you, you can choose not to match their lower vibration. You can also choose to see the pain that they're obviously in. That doesn't mean, though, that you have to have anything to do with somebody who's acting in an abusive way. I think that's very important to note, that no one deserves to be abused on any level. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, I'm offering my natal chart interpretations, which are hour-long readings, for 20% off. So this is through the end of 2018. I'm going to link that particular reading and my general website offerings below. Take care. Bye.